With 3 races left on the NASCAR Thunder 2004 Capital Peak PRA season, we may have the championship on lock, but if Jeff Gordon keeps putting on those performances he's had, save for Dockside where Johnny Benson won, Gordon keeps cutting into that points lead. The question is, could it be enough? We're at 457, and the maximum points you can get is 185. 3 races to go. NASCAR Thunder is equivalent of Russian roulette. Ryan Newman, currently the quickest man here in Tiburon. 3 miles of not racing with a restrictor plate. See where it'll put us here. Looks like we may have a decent lap. 37th. I mean, we'd like to improve it, but this track is such a crapshoot when it comes to qualifying. Just half the time you're either going to start last or you're going to start, towards the back. You're very rarely going to start up front. So we head down the backstretch one last time. Basically topping IndyCar speeds at this point. This is IndyCar type racing. I mean, we've been hanging constantly locked at 227, 228, 229. Kind of drifted up in turns 3 and 4, though. Now, here we go. Into the line. And see where we qualified. I believe it was like 36th. That definitely put an end to our insane pull streak. Yep, 37th. Right next to Steve Park.
Welcome to the unique Tiburon Superspeedway in Orlando, Florida. MRN is live to bring you flag-to-flag coverage of tonight's NASCAR Winston Cup Series action. We're in for an incredible race on this huge superspeedway.
Well, Joe, this place is 3 miles long. It's wide and it's fast. There won't be any restrictor plates slowing them down today either. I can't wait for this one.
This is a much-needed break for Dale Jarrett.
Maybe they can use this to turn around the bad luck that they have had in qualifying. After they see how much easier the whole race is when everyone is chasing you, I'm sure they'll work even harder next week to start up front.
The UAW car will attempt to build on his points lead in this race.
What a great feeling that must be to have the points lead. Although you also have to think about the guys closing in behind you. One bad day at the track and you got to start climbing the ladder all over again.
In 2002, Matt Kenseth led all drivers with 5 wins.
Unfortunately, he also has had 10 races where he finished 30th or worse. If they can just get some consistency, he will be a threat for the championship.
He starts 39th, boys. At least I'm on the inside, though. Didn't see any alternates in that flyby, that first flyby. I think we might see more when people are on the racetrack. Go ahead and look through the rest of the field. Ryan Newman and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are on the front row, by the way. And it looks like Jeremy Mayfield's bringing the Muppets car back. It's going to be a long way till it gets to me. So we'll go ahead and look through the starting lineup, which gives us great time to talk about the final season plans. So final season, I have kind of a basic idea of when I want it to start. I know the time of recording this, it'll start December 10th. My plan is to get that started December 10th, approximately a week or couple weeks after this ends. The driver I plan to use, kind of throwing back to when I first started playing this game back in 2015 with Jeff Gordon. That is who I'm going to be throwing it back to for final season. And if you've watched JC1424 What If Racing, when they did the season modes on this game, they kind of mixed it up in terms of different paint schemes. So, like, for example, one race, What If would run Joe Nemechek's Looney Tunes car, or another race, JC1424 would run the green Looney Tunes car or the Pepsi car, something dumb like that. I tried doing that with Harvick when I did that, just life. And the past year in high school just kind of screwed that up, like things usually do in my life.
The 14th row has the Valvoline Pontiac and the Haviland Dodge. In row 15 are the Kellogg Chevrolet and the 16 car.
Messed with that.
Starting the race in row 16 are the Autobahn Ford and the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Row 17 has the Georgia Pacific Dodge and the Hooters Ford. Starting in row 18 will be the 57 car and the Rubbermaid Sharpie Ford.
Have I mentioned how awesome it is to start next to your rival? 3 miles of unrestricted racing. The green flag is out here at Tiburon. Oh, God, Steve Park. We saved it, though. But Park door slammed us. He's a moron. I mean, try to catch the draft of 36 as they bring their cars up to full song. I have just now hit 223 miles an hour. So we head back down into 3. I'm going to pit probably around lap 7, give or take, since it's so long to get around here. Sometimes it takes so long to get around this track. I'm going to probably shoot for pitting around lap 7 or 8 or whatever. I have such a big points lead, it's really not going to matter when I pit because I'm pulled away so damn far over Gordon. But that's obviously changing right now because how far back I am. It's changed really bad. I mean, because of how far back I am as of right now. I'm trying to see if I can get a draft off of Kevin LePage right now in 57. I mean, I am in kind of in shot of the 57 or the 60. Get a draft off one of those cars and go ahead and begin running to the front. Now you see everybody is starting to kind of spread off into their individual groups. See some cars up ahead. Mike Skinner on the 4. So we've caught Stanton Barrett. Now I'm going to try to, and I barely had a draft from him a few moments ago. Oh yeah, big time. Getting a lot of momentum here. Stanton Barrett's running Stanton Barrett up the racetrack. I could basically use Kyle Petty as my free train to get to the front. I can try to shoot up the middle with Kevin LePage. And even though this track doesn't really act that much as a restrictor plate track, I've noticed you still get those big packs and the illusion of everybody running in such a big group, similar to how they do at the restrictor plates. As you see, we got cars down on pit road. And of those cars is Sterling Marlin in the 40. I got a huge burst of momentum to get around Kyle Petty. That's 24th. See if I can get by Casey Mears in the 41. I get the spot. But Mears fights back on the top side. See the 23 of Kenny Wallace, the 15 of Waltrip. I'm going to pit next time by when anybody up front in front of me does, whenever that may be the case. So whenever that may be, looks like the 19 of Mayfield was up in that group as well that I was talking about earlier. See the 30 of Steve Park. The 1 of Jeff Green's still upset at me after Dockside. I mean, Jeff Green's mad, but he's not I'm going to kill you mad, which is nice, I guess. I try to... Which, unfortunately, for the final season of NASCAR 2004, the schedule is not going to include Tiburon, as was tradition with pretty much every other season I've done, save for, like, the beginning. But that got cut short because other plans and my PS2 being retarded. Johnny Benson falling back in traffic. It'd be interesting to see what Sterling does, or if anybody's going to pit out of this group. It looks like people are getting ready down low. Wait, maybe no. Other people are staying out. A lot of people are staying out right now, so I'm going to try to use the bumper of Joe Nemechek. I'm playing the fuel-saving game as much as I can by getting up behind people and drafting with them. Of course, there's times where it works. There's times where it doesn't. I was running it was a 25% race here at Talladega one time on this game. I was doing the same idea of just drafting as much as I can and taking one less pit stop than everybody else. I'm honestly not sure why the guys up front haven't pitted yet. I'm getting an insane head of steam on Jeff Gordon. He won the past 2 races, keep in mind, after Dockside, which was won by Johnny Benson. He's won other than that, he's pretty much won the past two. Gordon, don't block me. I'm using you for the final season. And by the way, just like NASCAR 3, the schedule will be based off of Season 6 IOP competition. And now the leaders are finally pitting up towards the front. So like Newman, Jarrett, Labonte, and Newman. I'm just going to use this time to go and work with with Jimmy Johnson over here, if he'd actually stay in line. We're up to fourth as we speak. I'm getting pretty tight on fuel, so I'm on a pit this time. Kind of different from what I normally plan. See Junior up front. I'm pitting.
Someone got by him. Let's go after him. Number 9 is outside.
Nah. Don't want to take lefts.
As the driver gets smart, the crew will go to work, looking to see if they're making any adjustments. No tires, don't see any adjustments.
I'm going to try to pit early as, get out first, maybe find a drafting partner. It looks like, from what I saw, Ricky Rudd and Dale Earnhardt Jr. came out first. By the way, this race has been run caution-free so far. Surprisingly, we've been caution-free since the drop of the green. Because normally, because what I've noticed, whenever it's like a really big wreck that happens at this track, cars start wrecking. As of right now on pit stop, when we're pitting now, as we speak, Kevin Harvick currently is leading. He is not pitted. I'm guessing he's going to pit this time. Or is he pitting behind me? Hell, I'm too confused. No, I'm too confused to figure out who's pitting. We're up to 6, so once we get back around, we're going to take the lead. We're going to take the lead once we come back to the line here. I guess pitting early with Ricky Rudd and Dale Earnhardt Jr., even though it kind of didn't go to plan. Guessing pitting early worked. Because look who's coming up front. 4 to go at the line. Capital Peak putting on a clinic right now after starting from 37th. This is the first time he's led all race. Running around 2 down the back. You see Junior and Jarrett have caught up to us. That's the joys of running by yourself at this track. Is you're basically susceptible to something like this, to shit like this. Here comes Junior. 3 to go. It's going to be the battle of the Chevys and the Fords. Is Junior with a push from Jarrett to the outside. Inside. To the right of me. I'm dropping to 3rd. And this is the potential to be the repeat of the Talladega finish. Got 3 cars drafting with each other for the win. Oh, God. Oh, that was almost bad. Here comes Ricky Rudd, though. He's back and forth, so it may be useful for him to use the draft. Get the draft from him. See if I can get him to be pushed towards Jarrett. Towards the two cars in front of us. Definitely going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. 2 laps of racing to go. There are 2 Fords behind us that have one heck of a draft right now. I'm trying to catch Dale Jr. in the 8 and Jarrett in the 88. But we got some time. There's 6 miles left. Question is, can Rudd get to me in time to get to Jarrett as the white flag waves for Dale Earnhardt Jr. 1 to go at Tiburon. Jarrett waits in the back. He's far enough back that he could get a run, but he can't really seem to get a push. Get that push he needs. Through turns 3 and 4, Dale Earnhardt Jr. a full second ahead of Dale Jarrett, who's at the moment too far back to do anything, is going to get his first win of the season today at Tiburon.
Not many drivers led a lap in this race.
Yeah, I guarantee you there's at least 35 or 40 other drivers who wish they had seen the lead.
The UAW car really did a fantastic job of keeping his car away from
and
trouble.
The first clip of the highlight is me getting slammed by Steve Park.
Teams absolutely love drivers who take care of their cars. Makes their jobs a whole lot easier when they aren't having to spend extra hours in the body shop each week.
The 115 car now has one less friend in the garage area.
It certainly looks that way. I'm not sure who started everything, but it should be fun to watch over the next couple of races to see what develops.
This has been NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, brought to you by EA Sports and MRN. We'll see you next week at the Devil's Canyon Speedway.
Oof. So plus 26 for Joe Nemechek, minus 4 for Jeff Green, minus 28 for Sterling Marlin, and minus 60 for Jeff Green. Dale Jr. wins today's race at Tiburon, with Dale Jarrett in second, Capital Peak third. Ricky Rudd fourth, Mark Martin fifth, Ryan Newman sixth, Bobby Labonte seventh, Jeff Gordon eighth, Jeff Burton ninth, and Rusty Wallace 10th. David Green fell out of the race after 4 laps. Definitely a fast race, but took a little while to record. Kind of interesting to see how that played out. So, 2 races left. Devil's Canyon will be Wednesday. It will be the day before Thanksgiving. I will not put any NASCAR 2004 videos out on Thanksgiving, but there will be videos on Black Friday. You might ask why not? Why? I just believe Thanksgiving is time you should spend with your family instead of watching my videos. Tumbleweed 300, Wednesday at 11.